What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Tonight we're gonna fuck up a flat earth idiot. We're gonna drink some beer and then we're gonna fuck him up again. So, hi heathens, how y'all doing? Y'all got a dose of my singing. I hope you appreciate that. My singing is the best singing in the world, and it will never go away. I don't care how much you plead and beg me to stop. It won't. So tonight we have Today I Learned. We have 4 Today I Learned that we're going to get through it first, and then we've got videos. Specifically, we got 2. They're by M. Benz. And I didn't link them in the comment or in the description, but they will be there afterwards. So, yeah, so we're going to be going over 2 videos from him. One is going to be him addressing, talking about flat earth delusions with children, and then it's going to lead into another video, which can be summarized in just a few minutes. So I figured we could pair those 2 together, and because they kind of go together. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to be doing comments. So I hope that you guys are ready for all this bullshit tonight. Fresh flat earth analysis. I know that you guys love analyzing this bullshit with me. So let's get on into the Today I Learned. Today I learned. Natja Witness says, for opening with the song. Thank you, Natja. I appreciate it. Let's see. I gotta get my channel. Oh, my channel alerts are on. Maybe they're broken. I don't know. Anyways, so first up, if the global population adopted recommended North American dietary guidelines, there wouldn't be enough land to provide the food required. If more Americans adopted the USDA dietary recommendations, the U.S. would reduce its agricultural footprint. Waiting. The same holds for most of the Western Hemisphere. So apparently, we're special needy fucks up here in the North Americas. That includes you, Canada. You can take your special needy shit and go the fuck away. No, I'm just kidding. I love Canada. They have Pelagia, Godless Cranium, Shannon Q, and Vice Rhino. I don't want them to go away. Let's see. We got yeah. Oh, and they got syrup. Yeah, the shoe thing could stand to stop. I mean, come on, guys. Seriously? Shoes? Goddamn. Pathetic. No, I'm kidding. Alright. Next on Today I Learned. Today I learned that on August 9th, 1965, Singapore was expelled from Malaysia and becomes the only country to date to gain independence unwillingly. Can you imagine how shit you've got to be in order to get expelled and become independent because you were annoying as fuck? It's like, I'm sorry there, Singapore. You're too needy. Why don't you back up the fuck off of us, okay? We'll build ourselves a fence. You won't cross it. Don't worry. You're gonna pay for it. Also, tattoos at the workplace. Studies show long-held stigmas associated with having visible tattoos are now eroding, and workers with visible tattoos now don't face any sort of discrimination in their employment, wages, or earnings. So yes, that's pretty awesome to hear. I know. I mean, I've got my job, and I've had it for more than 10 years. So like, yeah, I think it's going on about 14 years now, and I'm all tatted the fuck up. Although, I mean, I didn't start the job with these tattoos, but I mean, Parcel form. Hey, Parcel. If aliens found Canadian space junk as their first exposure to Earth, would they think it came from planet Canada? Well, they would definitely think that we're nicer than we actually are here, because, Canada is a pretty nice place, sans the Peterson fucks. And yeah, so I mean, I think that they would probably think that we're a lot nicer than we actually are. And then finally, a fun today I learned, and then we'll get into the actual video. Today I learned that when the host of Candid Camera, Helen Funt, was on a flight that was hijacked, passengers recognized him and thought it was all just a joke for the show. Despite his insistence on the hijacking was real, insistence that the hijacking was real, no one believed him until the plane landed in Cuba. So legitimately, the thing was hijacked. Nobody believed it because the 1960s. When was Candid Camera on? I don't know. It looks old as fuck. Whatever the fuck. Ashton Kutcher was on the plane. And everyone's like, "Are we being punked? We're being punked, aren't we? Oh shit! Everybody get your wine. We're gonna be on MTV, people." Let's see. I had a super chat and for some reason my scroll button wasn't working. Chrismer, did you see Pence's Space Force speech? I actually did not see the Space Force speech, but I can guarantee you it was probably special. I'm gonna have to look at it later on tonight so I could have a better a better gauge of what the fuck he said. All right. Let's see. We're actually going to hide this. Somebody did mention to me today that Reds was dedicating his videotaping of the space of the launch that he was going to watch to me. So tonight I'm going to dedicate our stream to Reds since he dedicated his to me. Y'all go find Reds Rhetoric and show him some love. He's a pretty awesome guy. Oh shit. Oh crap, Matthew, I accidentally deleted your tweet. I did not mean to delete your tweet. God damn it. What? I should not be allowed to moderate my own channel. I can't restore it. I'm sorry, Matthew. You can post that again. Here, fuck, I'll post it. Yeah, let's make MTV fun again. Hold on. There you go. I posted it. That was Matthew. I said hide and I fucked up. Anyways, alright. So let us hide the comments and put up VLC. Alright, so this is M. Benz talking about how he would approach the flat earth deal with kids. And, suffice to say that I vehemently disagree with him, but, we're going to get there. Fuck, y'all can't hear it. Glad I caught that. My hat. If I can get it, do it right. Bah means no. Oh, you sheep fuckers out there. Let me hold on. I've got to change something here. I just recently set up this whole VLC thing. I want to get properties. Do not capture cursor. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's M. Benz.
What's up, M. Benz? I see you got Iron Man playing in the background there. Iron Man would actually have to use a lot of, physics and, taking the curvature of the Earth into consideration and all that shit. Oh, wait, you probably think that it's, subliminal messaging worked into fucking Iron Man.
Back with another video for you here today. Here to talk about something that may speak to some of you. Here to talk about kids and flat Earth. Now I have two older daughters. I have a younger daughter, but two older daughters, 8 and 10.
These people are breeding! No! Please quit producing dumbass people. I don't know if his kids are dumbasses or not. They're their own people. I'm not gonna diss little kids. All I'm saying is that this guy, don't take advice from this guy. Anybody.
third and fifth grade, and I get asked all the time, do you talk to your kids about flat earth? This is something you should talk to kids about. Because my kids are going through the science classes, learning about the solar systems, how the earth works in relation to the sun and the moon, and all.
Oh, okay. So you mean like basic education? Well, I mean, basic education is just what we generally know about our reality in general. So that is basic education. Although I can bet that he's going to paint this as indoctrination, but it's just basic education. He can paint it any way that he wants to, but what I would say is don't bring your kids into your delusion. Say, well, I don't believe these things. And like, for instance, I don't talk to my son about my atheism or my mythicism or anything like that because he doesn't need to know. But, you know, I'm betting that his kids are kind of going through this sort of sciencey portion or whatnot, but I would stay out of it personally if I held such a position. Like if Xander was ever going through like a religious studies class, I would not interrupt his studies in order to give him different information. So yeah.
All kinds of stuff like that. But let's just go ahead and dive right into it and touch on this subject. Maybe I can shed some light about kids of flat earth.
Oh yeah.
So, the way I feel about kids and flat earth is, I mean, it's not something you should pound into your kids and tell your kids not to do their homework or don't listen to your teachers or anything like that, because I want my kids to be successful in school. But at the same time, kids are not dumb nowadays.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Before he gets into the before, though, or but, and getting into his butt, I would say that this is actually kind of surprising. Like, you shouldn't pound flat earth into your kids. I think that's a really good piece of advice. I think that flat earthers should take this bit of advice and really listen to it. I don't think that you should talk to them at all about your whole flat earth delusion, but that's just me.
Especially my kids, they aren't dumb. One day we're going out and we're just taking a walk to the mailbox, and my kids are like, well, Dad, I look up in the sky and I see the sun and the moon and it's daylight. How come I see the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time?
Of course, being the really good father that you are, you're like, well, generally we know this to happen because the orbit of the moon is such a way so that at certain points during the month you can see the moon when the sun is out. That's just the position of the moon in orbit around the Earth. But then I believe this crazy other shit that doesn't have evidence at all. So, take that for what you will. Massive amounts of evidence over here with many, many centuries worth of information. But I've got a strange inkling. I side with people from the 7th century BC. So, I mean, I'm sure that you presented a fair and accurate view of what you thought about this particular situation. Please use the ukulele and sing Nadine Callan. I hope that helps. I don't know.
I learned in class that, the sun beats down the earth, covers half the earth at one time, and that's daylight. And then the other half the moon is at, it's nighttime. Moon, nighttime, sun, daytime. So, Dad, how come both the sun and the moon are in the sky at the same time?
Well, I doubt that would be like what is actually taught in schools. Like, just because the moon is out doesn't mean that it's night, and just because the sun is out, well, I mean, that does mean that it's day. But I mean, there's a gradient to it. Like, he talks about it. He talks about it like there's a hard line. Like, if you're over here on this side of the line, it's day out. But then if you step 1 foot to the right, oh look, it's night. And that's just not how shit is. I mean, half of the earth is in sunlight and the other half is in shadow. But there's also, I mean, there's a gradient there, which I think that maybe I'm just thinking a little bit too far into what he's talking about here. But still, That doesn't explain why the moon is out during the day.
It's down at the other side of the Earth. What is there anything there? Is there another moon?
No, there's not another moon. Don't you? I mean, holy fuck.
My kids were asking me all kinds of questions. And I set them down and I talked to them. I said, look, kids, I mean, this is what's going on. This is why the sun and the moon can be seen in the sky at the same time. And I sat down, I showed them a couple videos, a couple ODD videos, a couple of D-Marble videos, and kind of just explained to them. I mean, we live on a flat plane, and this is why the sun and the moon can be observed at the same time.
Except this doesn't actually give us anything that we can use to predict. See, that's the problem with this whole flat Earth model, is that it works fine in perfect conditions, but not in all conditions. Like, I mean, you want to say that this right here is perfectly representative of what we see, except there's no explanation for why the sun is that close to the Earth. There's no explanation for, why gravity doesn't exist in that particular thing. And this is even before we get to the whole fucking moon circling above the Earth thing. And then there's we can explain why the moon orbits the Earth. You can't explain why the moon circles around in the upper stratosphere. You also can't explain why the sun doesn't set our atmosphere on fire when it's that close to the fucking Earth. So there's if you squint at it and lift your left butt cheek and you look really hard and you were dumb or just ignorant, then this would make sense.
Now, I didn't beat it into them. It's not something I told them they had to believe. I didn't say don't believe in your science books and things like that. Not just yet. Just because I believe, like I said, your kids should get good grades in school.
Okay, but you're speaking from a position of authority to your children. Okay? You can't just sit there and be like, I didn't bait it into them. It's not like I got them in the corner and it's like, is the Earth a globe? And they're like, yes, Daddy, it's a globe. And then you took it with the whip like, say it's flat. And apparently that's what he thinks. I mean, that you don't have to do that in order to impress upon your kids that you should believe this. If I went and I told my son, hey, the sun is just a big orange, and I told him why I thought it was a big orange and whatnot, then I mean he would believe me. He would implicitly trust me because we have that trust bond. So I mean, this guy right here is saying, oh, I'm not forcing them to believe. No, you're not forcing them to believe, but you do have this trust position in your relationship with them, so they implicitly trust you. So when you tell them your teachers are fucking lying to you, it's flat, then they're gonna be like, oh, teacher, you're fucking lying, it's flat, my daddy said so. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're sitting there not beating it into them. It's like whenever I tell KC over there to go and, I don't know, make me a sandwich, it's like, well, I'm not baiting her about it. Oh, okay. I'm not beating Casey, so I'm not forcing her to go and do it.
Hi, y'all. I'm here now.
Oh, look, it's a wild KC appeared.
I had child maintenance.
That's one of the earliest science things they tell you about is the globe. The indoctrination is strong. Now, as long as I put a little bit of nuggets.
I called it. He labels it indoctrination. Of course he labels it indoctrination. Why would he not label it indoctrination?
To my kids' head at a time, so that way they don't get super sucked into the indoctrination, I'm happy. And then when they get old enough and they want to start doing...
No, that's just basic education. It's not indoctrination. Indoctrination is telling people to believe something without any kind of evidence or anything like that, and they can't question it. They can question all of this shit all that they want to. You can even question whether or not the globe model is correct. But you're going to be told why it's correct. And then when you reject that, you're going to be called ignorant or an idiot or anything like that. Because basically you're rejecting any information that actually proves you wrong. And instead of incorporating that into your worldview, into your beliefs, you reject it. This is a way that you can get around cognitive dissonance. So, it just amazes me how they can so easily throw this out and so easily get around that cognitive dissonance. Because if I'm substantially proven wrong about something, I change my mind. It was like with mythicism. I thought that Jesus existed in history, and then I did the research. Like I looked at the actual evidence, like the bare bones evidence for Jesus actually existing, and it wasn't compelling to me. And I've got many videos that explain all of that, but see, basically, I incorporated that into my new view, and that's how I got around any kind of cognitive dissonance. So yeah, I'll stop rambling.
Doing their own research, then they're free to do their own research and believe in whatever they want to believe in. I don't believe in pressing my beliefs onto my kids, but I do believe kids are the future.
I don't believe in impressing my beliefs on my kids, but I definitely tell them that the world is flat. That is impressing your beliefs on your kid. I don't go to Xander and be like, God ain't real, right? Right. Okay. Good little shit. Like it, that's not what I do, because I don't want to impress my beliefs upon him. Even with me doing that, like not mentioning it at all to him, what I believe or the reasons why I believe it, he still is like, I'm an atheist. It's like, you're too young, little man. You don't know what that means just yet.
So I believe if we can stop the kids from becoming indoctrinated, and
It takes more than just a few minutes of flat earth research to overcome a lifetime of indoctrination. Actually, it just takes a little bit of Googling with good resources in order to overcome any kind of idea that the earth is flat. I mean, if you just looked up gravity and how that works and the basic laws of motion, that would totally destroy. I changed my number one proof. That number one proof is gravity. That's what proves. Like that would be the hands down thing that I think that anybody, if you looked into it honestly and you understood what gravity was how it acts and everything like that, you would be like, oh, fuck this flat earth shit. But what do they do? Cognitive dissonance and confirmation bias. They just chunk that shit right out the fucking window.
and believe in all the sciences and the Neil deGrasse Tysons and the Bill Nyes, that maybe we might have a future. Maybe not for me and my generation. Maybe my kids.
Maybe we'll have. Why is it that the globe Earth is like the thing that's going to destroy civilization and destroy the Earth? Maybe we'll have a future if we can get people to realize that the Earth is flat. Ah, the sun's an orange.
Maybe they can grow up knowing all the deception that's going on and knowing it's something that, hey man, if I don't believe in this, then at some point they got to stop the lie. At some point, if I don't believe that I live on a spinning, rotating ball that I can nor detect, feel, see, get any hint of, maybe, just maybe, we can make the world a better livable place, because maybe my kids, one day, they'll all know, maybe be common sense in the world, that we live on a flat plane.
No, that'll never happen, because it's not a flat plane. It is legitimately a globe Earth. It is an oblate spheroid. So it will never be common knowledge that the Earth is flat. Sorry to burst your bubble. You're only impeding your children's education in espousing your delusional beliefs to them because of the mountains of evidence against you. We could start off with gravity and how that disproves you, or we could start off with how the motion of the earth. Excuse me. The motion of the earth legitimately can be explained. Because if you just understood a little bit of physics and like relative velocities and like actual scientific shit, if you just understood it, then you would understand why we don't feel like we're moving as fast as we are. You would understand why on a bus you can stand up in the middle of the bus and you won't feel like you're like moving anywhere. Well, if certain conditions like very flat road or whatnot, like you move with the bus, like that's how you can explain that. But no, you're gonna tell your kids that the earth is flat, and I think that is harmful to your kids.
So I thought it was important to make this video because I haven't seen a lot of flat earthers talk about this subject.
Probably because they don't actually impose their own beliefs on their kids, but that's me being really, really optimistic.
I just want to touch on it briefly, just give you my opinion about it, and tell you that I think it's something maybe we should just kind of, teach our kids here and there, not shove it down their throats, not force them to believe this, but I just throw little nuggets out here and there. Sometimes when we're driving, sometimes when we're doing things. The other day we went to the state fair.
Okay. So you subversively implant this into their minds and get them to believe it without providing good evidence to the contrary. You subversively do it. Does that not seem a bit fucking shady? I think that when your kids get older and they're like, oh shit, daddy was wrong, I think that they're just gonna think daddy gone crazy again. Let's see, Corey visited Kansas. The Christian conservatives talk shows were hilarious. Do you have that in Alabama? The hosts legit believe in the big gay from Cali. I don't think that we have any Christian conservative talk shows here. It would be awesome if we did. Puffalophagus 360. How is this not child abuse? I could see an argument saying that it is child abuse. With the subversive nature that he's doing it and everything like that, I think that the context of it, I think that probably the context of it is what probably gets people hung up with, because like subversively convincing a small girl that it's okay to fuck her when she's 8 is vastly different from subversively, telling your kids or teaching your kids that the earth is flat. But at the same time, it's still bad information. It's still information that is demonstrably wrong. And I think that depending on how far you would have taken it, it could be. But I don't know. I feel like this is a gray area where people fall on both sides of the line.
And we were up high on the Ferris wheel, and I point out to my kids, look, do you see any curvature? And the kid's like, no, Dad, it looks flat. So, I mean, it's just something I throw out when I see certain things. Again, I don't want them going to school, getting in trouble, telling their teachers, oh, my dad said the earth is flat. I don't believe anything you say. Because, again, I don't want my kids getting in trouble at school.
Oh, okay. So you're like, oh, but don't tell your teachers. Don't tell anybody else this. It's just our little secret. That seems shady as fuck. Like, that's legitimately what you do when you're grooming a child. Like, this is our secret. You can't tell anybody or I will fuck your world up. But, I love you. Like, this is legitimately how you do this. I'm using that word too much tonight.
To do well in school. And I know it's part of the indoctrination, but they still have to make it out of school. I mean, I did well in school. I made it out of school. And again, I've been a truth seeker my whole life. So I'm not saying if you do well in school, you're automatically going to be indoctrinated.
I bet you he's a 9/11 truther too. I bet he is.
But if I throw little nuggets out here and there, talk to them about stuff here and there, eventually, when they get old enough, they'll start seeking the truth in their own, and they won't believe all the stuff that's being put out for them.
That's really optimistic. I mean, honestly, the subversive nature that you take with your children, I feel is wrong. I feel that because I don't subversively plant the idea that God doesn't exist in my child's head, which I get it. This is me, this is him, but I'm just saying from my own point of view, I feel that this is completely and entirely wrong to do to your children. Now, teaching them, the actual facts of shit, actual science that is demonstrable, that we have evidence for, is not, subversive. Directly telling them these things is not subversive in any case. But the way that he's handling it is completely and utterly wrong.
So, I mean, do what you want with your own kids. I'm not telling you what to do with your kids. I'm just telling you my experiences with my kids and the way that I handle the flat earth situation. Because, again, they aren't dumb. They hear me talk about flat earth a lot. They hear it being discussed around. And they always ask questions even when they see things and oh, Dad, my teacher told me this and this and that. My teacher told me the ISS is up there and is getting some great footage. I don't know how to respond to that kind of stuff because I don't want them going back to school telling their teachers wrong. But at the same time, I don't want them to be indoctrinated. So it's just kind of a fine line.
My guess is that you tell them, oh, the ISS is just CG. It's really just a UAV up there. Or did I say that right? UAV? unmanned aerial vehicle. Yes. UAV. It's just a UAV up there, kids. That's all it is with the blinky light on it. I'm sure with the way that you have talked about it up until this point, you definitely tell your kids, oh, it's not really there. It's a UAV. It's CGI. It's whatever the fuck that you can do to explain it away. And so you directly tell them, no, your teachers are lying. This is what's true. And so I feel that that is completely wrong when you are definitely wrong in what you're saying. Rolambo, thank you so much. Okay.
But again, just something I want to touch on, just quick discussion. This is in Ben's.
All right, so that's it for that. And we're going to go on to his next video, which is sort of kind of connected to this, and you'll see why here at the very first bit of it. So yeah. This is his Flat Earth episode for water, by the way. You see, I thought it was going to be like, oh, hey, look, here's the water. This is why water droplets disprove gravity, but that didn't actually come up in any of this.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Rolambo's got his Bud Light Orange. Way to go. I just drank all of mine, but way to go, Rolambo.
It's M Benz, back with another video for you here today, here to talk about water. Now, water makes up 71% of the Earth's surface. So if that's the case, I ask you the question, have you ever seen masses of water curve? Neither have I.
Well, I mean, you see it whenever you see the images of the Earth from like the ISS or from JAXA, the ESA. But I mean, you obviously are way too woke for that kind of evidence. So, yeah.
But it's something we're going to be taking a look at in this video, so let's jump right into it.
Let's get right into it. Gotta love his little intro song.
Alright guys, so I have this ball, my daughter's little bouncy ball. And I have this bowl of water. Now, this bowl I put of water is your standard bowl, nothing special, regular water. And as you see, it's flat. My daughter here is going to dunk this ball in this bowl of water. Don't mind the pajamas. Yeah, don't mind those owl pajamas. A little crazy. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to be dunking this ball in this bowl of water. And we're going to observe two things here. So she's going to go ahead and grab this ball. Okay, first, yeah, it floats. Where's gravity at now? I don't see any gravity.
This does not disprove gravity. This does not show how gravity doesn't exist. That's obviously where he's going with it, because he's saying it's just density and buoyancy or what the fuck ever. The whole reason why the thing is sitting on top of the water, though, is because of gravity. The reason why it's not just like floating up off the Earth is because of gravity. So if gravity didn't exist, then like this Earth wouldn't exist. Like all the planetary bodies wouldn't fucking exist. It would just be a bunch of dust particles that clung together and never actually compacted and shit, because gravity is what caused all of the particles to compact into these solid masses. Parcel Form said, the frickin' meniscus! So no, this doesn't actually disprove gravity. The whole reason why things are pulled to the Earth or pulled down is because of gravity.
It looks to me like buoyancy and density. The ball is not.
Well, you're fucking wrong.
Not sinking. She has to push it down. Man, push it down. Go ahead, get it all.
You're spilling water every fucking where. Goddamn, Benz. This isn't your kid's fault. This is your fault. Let's be perfectly fucking honest here.
In the water, make a big old mess. Of course, you know. It's alright. Mama can clean it up later. No big deal.
Oh, making the mama clean it up? Fuck you, Benz. You clean the shit up. You're the one making the mess. Rather, you're the one making the kid make the mess. You're the one that filled it up so far knowing that you was about to junk a huge ass ball in it. This is all your fault. You clean it the fuck up, motherfucker. Swear to Christ. I don't know why that particular thing got me the most pissed off so far.
I don't know, but you're...
So, get this ball done.
No. I'm not triggered over spilt water. Hey, look! Now they're splashing it all over the apples. Look. No, it's because he was like, Mama, clean it up later. It's like, I'm not cleaning up your shit, motherfucker. The parcel form said, patriarchy, ree!
Fully in water. Put it on this towel. Now, I don't know if you guys notice it, but there is no water curving around it. You have...
Oh, I'm sorry. There's no water curving around it. Why the fuck do I see beads of water fucking curving around the curvature of the goddamn ball? There's no water curving. There's no water sticking to it. Hello, I can see the fucking beads of water on it. Now, for those of you that came here for scientific content, here you go. The reason why water beads is because of adhesion and cohesion. Adhesion is the ability of water to stick to other substances or materials, while cohesion is the ability of water molecules to stick to themselves. Surface tension is the water molecules cohesion, like with themselves at the surface of it, like there's no other water above them, so like no other water molecules can be attracted from above, and so that creates that sort of skin-like that creates the bead. So the surface tension is just the static forces of the molecules, the the positive and negatives causing them to stick together, and water has some of the strongest cohesion of any like liquid. So that's what causes the beads to happen, but also it's a good example of what happens in a three-dimensional space, and you have a force that's being attracted from all sides, because that's what a water molecule does. The water molecule attracts the portions of other molecules with opposite polarities to it in all directions. And see, this is why the whole flat earth thing doesn't make sense, is because in a three-dimensional space, you would have the attraction in all directions, in all like spherical directions, it would be attracted to all of it. That's why it doesn't make sense. But also, this is why it goes to show you that water can curve, because you have multiple droplets right there that are going across a distance where you can see a curve. So I don't understand what your point is with this.
Water droplets that's dripping off the sides you see here.
You know, I love the fact that he's like, show me water sticking to a ball. I can't fucking see it anywhere. I can't see water sticking to a fucking ball. And then it's like, well, here's a ball, and it's got some water stuck to it, motherfucker. Look, it's even on the goddamn side of it right there. Oh, well, I'm not talking about the beads of water. That's just, that disproves gravity. The fuck just happened?
I don't know.
No.
A little bit of water.
Nobody knows what the fuck just happened, by the way.
Water there, here, but there's no masses of water.
You see masses of water. Like, that's not that's not as big as the earth, so of course little water droplets are not what we're talking about, but in a scaled sense, those are huge pockets of water when you consider the scale.
That is curving around this ball. And I got a textured ball on purpose.
I got a textured ball on purpose, so fuck you, Globies. Shove this spiky ball up your ass. Some people might like that, and I don't know what to say to those people.
I don't see water sticking to it. I mean, I see droplets, but that is not masses of water.
That is masses of water, though. I mean, that's exactly what that is. That's masses of water. You say that they're not masses of water, but those are masses of water. Like, I get that he's really wanting like huge like amounts of water to be stuck, or he wants to stick a ball in there and come up and it's just covered like in a perfect layer of water. It's just a perfect sphere. That's not how gravity works. That's not how the static forces work or anything like that. Rolambo says, send wife for more beer. We're not married yet, but I'm gonna wife her soon.
So, I did this little experiment here.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of fast forward through this part a little bit because basically what he does is, what he has here is he has 4 different things, and he says bowl of water, which I think that he accidentally wrote bowl if water. So I mean, I don't know. I've made spelling mistakes before too, but I mean, anyways, bowl of water. So it's like, what would you expect to see out of a bowl of water? And then he makes the connection to the flat earth images as well. And he goes to a few people, and we'll watch the first one. Corey Morrison. What do I do with the spiky ball is my business. Oh, that's right, Corey. Don't let anybody shame you for your spiky ball perversiveness. Or perversion. Perversion. That's what I meant.
Asking people, IQ test, asking which one.
Yeah, which one is it? That one, and then he connects it to this, and blah, blah, blah. Got it. Okay. And then he's just explaining this because he thinks that we're all remedial. And then he goes to his buddy here.
What's going on, Jeff?
What's going on?
So, these are 2 things. This situation is, what would water look like in a bowl? How would a bowl of water look? So, just trying to see which one makes the most sense for you.
He is specifically asking, what would a bowl of water look like? The Godless Iowan, $2. Gonna wife her soon. Like, Jesus coming back soon. No. It's actually gonna happen. So, yeah, he's specifically asking bowl of water, and then he's also setting these flat earth bullshit things next to it. So, just specifically bowl of water.
Just go ahead and point out the 2 that makes the most sense.
Probably this one. Probably this, in a bowl, probably this one. Maybe this one if it depends on if there's stuff in the bowl. But probably these 2.
So those 2 make the most sense. So these 2 down here could not happen in real life.
I mean, with some waves, that's what that looks like. I'm not sure what that is. I don't really feel that one at all.
What about this one right here? I mean, what?
I would say probably these 2. Probably these 2. This one's nice and flat right here. This one's
He doesn't even preface this second question with anything. The Godless Iowan, if I send more wife questions, will GE sweat? Nah, I ain't sweating. I got a plan. She knows this. So I like how he doesn't even preface it. It makes me think that this is all set up and these are just his flat earth friends, right? And it's like, because he doesn't preface it. Now, what about these? What these make sense? I would say that the top one is the one that makes sense, because it's obvious what he's trying to do here, to me at least. Maybe I just have a lot of experience with flat earth delusions, but like, no, the other 2 don't make sense at all either.
Stays flat, so I mean, like the ocean looks flat there, so.
So, I definitely appreciate you helping.
See, I mean, honestly, it's set up because he goes to his other couple of co-workers right here, and he's like, "Yeah, can you please tell me what the fuck? Which one do you think? This one's a bowl. Which one makes sense? And then I want you to look at this sphere and other shit, and which one makes sense?" And then he does it a few times, like with that. Yeah. And then there's this guy right here. He has a shit-eating grin the size of fucking Wyoming. So I don't want to hear how this isn't fucking staged. So yeah, and then of course they point out the same thing that the other people did and whatnot, and then we get here.
So as you witnessed there, when I was asking them to look at these images here, the top 2 makes the most sense, and that's just
for a bowl. The Earth is not a bowl of water at all. It's a giant sphere. The Godless Iowan. If you like it, then you should put a ring on it. God damn it! Every time.
I did not tell him to do this.
Every fucking time this gets brought up, she goes like this to me. It's like, God damn it! I got a plan. Fuck.
normal, everyday people. I know I did these experiments. I asked these questions before.
These are not experiments. You prepped your friends beforehand. It was like, we're doing a flat earth video. You got to say these 2 right here. You could tell because you don't preface, like, I wouldn't even know which one to pick out of the other two. Like, you didn't preface the other question with anything. So don't pretend like this is a pure scientific study that you just conducted on a set of 3 people. Any person that would look at your study here or your experiment would probably be like, I ain't even gonna wipe my ass with this shit because I don't want to get shit on my ass that already has shit on it. The shit that's on my ass is cleaner than the shit you just gave me.
I started my Flat Earth channel. Before they even knew what I was even asking them, I told them it was for.
All right, listen, the top one, that's how the Earth actually works, albeit that's a fucked up kind of scale for displaying it, but what the fuck ever. The second one, the little flat end side of it, kind of looks like, I don't know, maybe God stomped his foot on the fucking one side of it and made like a flat area. Nope. That doesn't make sense. Although I will say that, you know, for any position that you are on the Earth, it at small scales it does appear flat. So I get why they think it would work that way, but that's not actually what you're seeing because of how huge the Earth is. And then finally the one at the bottom is just fucking ridiculous as shit.
For like a school project or something for my daughter.
No, you fucking. You staged the entire thing. We can tell. The one guy with the shit-eating grin, the other guy that was just like, oh yeah, I picked these 2 right here. Like, you staged those questions. Godless Iowan, will she buy the cow if you're giving the milk free? What?
I buy you.
Oh, yes, she will.
Didn't tell them it had anything to do with Flat Earth. It's just, which logically makes.
What's the difference between these 2 pictures? This is real water curving, this is not. Well, for one thing, that just that shows how water droplets look, I guess. But also, gravity is the reason why it has that drop kind of look to it instead of a perfect sphere, because water droplets aren't perfect spheres. He says caused by surface tension, which is molecules of the plant holding together a small skin of water molecules that is easily disrupted. Now listen, that is a really horrible explanation of surface tension. Surface tension is when molecules are attracted to each other and there's no water on the top side of the molecules in which to attract. And so it creates a surface, and that's what surface tension is. And because the cohesion between water molecules is so strong, that's why it has a strong surface tension. There. That's why it is. It's not which is molecules. It's not the molecules of the plant holding together a small skin of water molecules. That's not what's happening at all. The fact that you believe this is fucking troublesome. That gets no bigger than the capillary length of 3 millimeters. Well, I mean, true. I wouldn't think that water droplets could get too huge. Because, I mean, then they just form puddles, motherfucker. This debunks gravity. No, it does not! I don't understand how it debunks gravity. He always says this, but he never actually explains it. How does this exactly debunk gravity? I would love to know! Because the gravity should be pulling... Oh, wait, there he goes. I should finish reading. Because the gravity should be pulling the droplet down towards the center of the Earth like it's doing to all that painted water on that CGI picture, but instead the surface tension is keeping it attached to the leaf. No, the surface tension is not. The adhesion of water to the plant surface is. That is what is the adhesion property of water is what's doing it, not the surface tension. Those are 2 completely different concepts. Also, the water is being pulled down to the Earth because it's in a droplet form. So that's bullshit. Also, which way is down in that picture? I know that we're seeing it top and down, but when you think about what he's saying here with this picture, on the left side, it should be pulling towards the center of the Earth. But even if you were to entertain the idea like of his whole pulling down, but he says pulling to the center of the Earth, that would mean that all the water would be pulled to the Earth. He's not even listening to what bullshit he's spewing. Corey Morrison, I'm gonna drop out of school and sell wool products. Huh? That's not a smart idea. Although, I mean, that is a lucrative business. There are a lot of dumbasses out there, honey.
That's true.
We might want to get some GE essential oils. Rub this on your nuts and your dick will get bigger. That'll sell like hotcakes, honey, I'm telling you. You know how many of these small dick motherfuckers are rubbing like essential oils on their dick, hoping that it gets 12 feet long?
No, I don't know anybody that's doing it.
Makes sense. Real water curving doesn't make sense unless, again, like how you see here on the screen, caused by surface tension, which defies gravity. As you see here, top one science, the other one pseudoscience. So
Okay, yeah. Well, no, they're both science, because that's legitimately how water acts in like on small scales or whatnot. It finds its level. But then at the other end, I mean, obviously the scales there are out of whack because you don't have like huge towers like towering off the earth, getting into the fucking stratosphere of the earth. They're just on different scales. You dumb motherfucker.
as you see here, water always finds.
Not Joe Witness. If we send more super chats, GE can afford a bigger ring for KC. Hey, fuck off.
And maintains its
Promise
level.
I did not do that.
Always. That's why it's called sea level, not sea curve.
That's not why it's called sea level. And sea level changes depending on where you are on the earth. There's not one central sea level. It depends on where you fucking are.
So, none of us, no
This
one
guy's
has
testing
ever
my
seen
patience.
curved oceans with their own eyes.
It started with the whole the wife will clean it up thing. I'm such an SJW.
No one has ever seen.
Or would that make me a white knight?
White Knight.
Oh, yeah?
Curved oceans. It just doesn't make sense. As I demonstrated earlier with the ball, water does not curve around spherical objects. It's just something that doesn't happen. It does.
Okay, I don't understand the connection between what he's showing us here and what he's talking about, like, at all.
It's never been observed.
It has been observed, though. You saying that it's never been observed is totally incorrect, because we have pictures from the ISS, ESA, JAXA, and all these other places. Like, we have pictures of that. But you don't want to admit it. You just say that they're CGI painted pictures. But that's not at all what anything does. I mean, what?
Yeah, can't be painted.
CGI can't be painted. Yes, I understand, honey. Thank you, Keith, for the super chat. But you have to... Okay, look, even if you take NASA, ESA, JAXA, ISS, all of that shit out of the picture, you could still get like a high altitude weather balloon or something like that. Send that shit straight up. You can get a picture of the curvature of the Earth. You can do it. Of course, I was just thinking, you know, I could use all of this flat earth money that I'm getting every month to get like a weather balloon kit and like send that shit all the way up into the sky and come back down. Like it would be an interesting experience, but it wouldn't be of any value to these people. It wouldn't be any kind of value at all to any of them, because I would just be fabricating evidence to them. That's all I would be doing. And that's so completely unfair. Corey Morrison, the earth ain't round, the earth is thick. Thick earth.
By me, by you, by anybody. So I challenge any of you globists out there, any people who believe in the heliocentric model, I challenge you.
Right.
Show me something. Show me a test and experiment, record it for me, where water sticks to a ball, where water sticks to a spherical object. Show me that test.
Okay, well, I mean, you performed one in this video, so that, I mean, I can't give you anything that you would accept. I mean, you know, I could point to like different planets in the solar system and show how their atmospheres curve, you know, with the around the center of their mass. I could show you that, but you wouldn't accept that because I'm fairly certain telescopes are all like painted by the devil or some shit. Mandelbrot says, "Is it 1 month's salary for an engagement ring?" Let's not talk about prices.
Show me. And you can print these. You can print these out for yourself and go around and ask people, and you will be surprised, or shouldn't be surprised, with the answers they give you.
Scientific answers is what they will give you. Like, they'll point to the pictures from NASA, ISS, ESA, JAXA. They will point to these things. They will give you pictures from all three, and all three will have water curving with the curve, okay? Or bending with the curve, however you want to say it.
Water's always flat. Water always maintains a level, and everyone knows that. No matter what the basin is, no matter what the bottom of the ball or thing you use to put the water in, it doesn't matter, because at the top of that, water's always going to find its level. Water always stays level.
No, it doesn't. I'm gonna stop it right here. He's only got a few seconds left, but I mean that's pretty much all. He just keeps repeating that water finds its level, it stays level, and all this other shit. You know, I didn't see the explanation for how gravity disproves it earlier, but his whole explanation for gravity. Well, I'm gonna cut this out later for people that say this. Hold on. I wanna hide like chat box and everything like that. Let me go to Cam. I'm gonna record this to cut out for later. M. Ben says that water droplets disprove gravity. The reason why he thinks this is because he thinks that gravity should be pulling the water droplet to the earth, which it does. And then when you look at the earth, the water should be pulled off of the earth, pulling it down. But he describes it as the water droplet being pulled to the center of the earth, and he describes the exact same thing for the globe earth model, in which then he says should be pulled down off of the earth. This is a contradiction that's internal to his argument, because even if you transpose the argument to the earth like he says you should, then the water should be pulled to the center of the earth, which would make the water cling onto the surface of the earth. M-bends, get wrecked, get fucked, whatever. You're too woke for your own good. Bye. Good night and fuck off. All right. I'll cut that out later. Put it up tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know why I like hid everything on this fucking... True. I think that if he made that point, if he made just a video where he was just saying, water finds its level, water finds its level, water finds its level, water finds its level, and then maybe threw in like, water finds its level, fuck off, globetards, NASA shills.
Why don't you tell him about calling him to GM?
Yeah, so Dan from Objectively Dan, he's got a new like little call-in talk show that's kind of like the Atheist Experience, and he's trying it out. And so I called in to their Drew was on the show tonight, and so I called in and it was like Jim from North Alabama, and I called in and I was like, "What's up, brothers and sisters of Christ? How y'all doing?" And that's what gave me away, of course. And then Dan was saying something about the wrath being a big sin or something like that, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I couldn't hear him. And then when I finally understood what he was saying, I was like, "Oh, my ear got fucked by the devil for a second. I'm sorry." And then I just lost my shit. So did KC, and that was the end for it. Nephilim Gabriel, the Loch Ness monster gives you about $350 for that ring. $350. Azrael's still waiting for her NASA shield check. All right, so we're going to be going to comments real quick. I spend a lot of time on these videos, so we don't have a lot of time for comments, but we'll get to a few of them. Some of these really good ones. Let's see. This one I really want to go over. So this is from the RXJW, which I wanted to highlight this. I wanted to read it and put it out here. So for this guy, my dad just called me a son of Satan and not his son. I called up my dad tonight after not talking to him in almost 3 years. He answered, but the conversation did not go well. He took my daughter's abuser's side and not his granddaughter's. He also told me that the elders do not have to call the police in abuse cases. He then said, I left Jehovah and that's why he is shunning me. I told him Jehovah's not real, and then he called me a son of Satan and hung up. Good times. My parents can go and die and I will not care. Now, I have to say that's some hardcore hate right there. Corey Mortensen, what's a good counterpoint to that's what you've been told when I present FES with evidence that is the best they have? What's FES? Flat Earth?
Earthers.
Flat Earthers? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, I would say that while it is something that's been told or is part of just general knowledge and education, you can find the exact reasons. Like today, I didn't know the exact reason why water droplets form, or why water droplets stick to things, or why water sticks to things, or why things get wet in general. And so I looked it up, and it went down into the molecular level of like water. We know water is H2O. We know the structure of it. We know the polarity of it when it forms. And so it makes sense. Like it's logically, like you can logically follow it fairly easily because it's basic information at this point. All right, let's have some fun with some shit. Well, hold on. Here's a good comment. What the fuck is heart of hearts? This guy can suck my dick of dicks or lick my ball of balls. Gobble my ball of dicks. Disclaimer, I do not have a ball of dicks. I'm glad that you put that disclaimer in. Finesse. Damn, it's so sad that the government really brainwashed you idiots, and now you can't just see the world how it is. Literally every argument you guys have is gravity, but none of you can actually prove the magical force actually exists. Hold on, let me get prepared. Yes, we can. Oh!
You just dropped the box on the.
Proving gravity.
Oh.
Proving gravity.
Oh. Okay.
Damn, it's not effective if I have to explain it. So the basic law of motion can clue you into how that actually proves it, because if gravity didn't exist, then this theoretically would just stay in place whenever let me do it whenever I would like let go of this right here. Oh shit, fuck. Let go of this right here, it would just stay floating. But because of gravity, it's a force. Because of how big the Earth is, it's a substantial force. It pulls it to the center of the Earth. That is a basic understanding of it. The Godless Island. Jokes are better when you have to explain them. Damn it. That's not a ring box. God damn it. It's a sunglass box. This is on this week's video. 510. Come on, dude. He said no homo, which means it's not gay, okay? Now listen, guys. If I said, hey, now, no homo, some homo stuff's about to come out my mouth. I'm about to, talk about some homo gay stuff. Him fantasizing about a giant Nephilim dick the size of a school bus is definitely a little homo, which isn't bad. It's a guy thinking about cock. Why are you so bald and fat at your age? Motherfucker, I'm not bald. My head is just shaved, bitch. This ain't bald. I have a widow's peak, motherfucker. That's what that's called. Cutthroat gigolo. I'm late. No homo. See, it's different if you're like no homo afterwards because you didn't mean for it to sound that way. But if you got to preface what you're about to say with no homo, that's a different story. Well, goddamn, who can I fuck? Jesus. Jesus is who you can fuck. And that is the only fuck that you can fuck that ever was fucked.
Excuse me, who are you fucking?
You can only fuck me, you understand me, you little shits? You're up, Gleason. Here, I'm gonna try to do a very what's the word I'm looking for? Uptight kind of voice. All your videos are picked. You look for people who are easy to flame because they kind of just make a fool out of themselves. But in a serious convo with both sides respecting, y'all could probably get some insight. If you would look at the one video that I have published where I have legit talked to a flat earther, all he did was call me names the entire time and said that I was in fact not woke as fuck. Is basically what it amounted to. And for patrons, there's a special, like, other 40-minute segment where we talk about, like, government and shit. He's one of them anti-government types. MG42 Pillbox, I saw you in chat there, buddy. You got timed out because you're shit. So, still no evidence for the magical ball Earth. This was easy. No, there's plenty of evidence for a ball Earth, or, well, globe Earth, whatever the fuck. There's plenty of evidence for it. Just because you are too ignorant or too remedial in which to understand it does not make it actually flat Earth. Foul! Lion can't talk with all that Jesus cum in his mouth. No, he fucking couldn't. I like the hour before I watched this video the most. I don't understand why the comment right there was needed, but what the fuck ever. Puffaluvicus 360. I'll tip for that MG42 comment one more time, please. What was that voice crack? I don't know, GMS. Let's see. We got to come. Johiah Hansen. IGE must ask KC, will you marry me? Gotta read it. Laws Barker. Guess it won't be a church wedding. No, this shit's definitely not a church wedding right here. I mean, come on. What are you thinking? Here we go. We'll end on this one tonight. And as far as satellites go, it does not matter how many are active or inactive. The point is that there are supposedly thousands of them out there and the ISS never crashes into them. Well, true, the ISS never does. Mainly because, the ISS is at a certain height and a certain orbit around the Earth. And you can guarantee that you won't come into contact with any satellites. There might be a small chance that it could happen, I guess. But the space around the Earth is so big that the chances of it actually happening are so low that it's negligible. Alright, so let's get to the final questions and shit. Apparently this was out of whack. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see, but I got a new picture. I painted a new picture. Don't worry, it's shit. Corey Morrison, listen, Marriage was great time in my life. I miss her every day that she's passed. I wish you two the best. Appreciate and listen to each other as best as you can. By the way, Casey leaves you, GE, I'll marry you. I don't think she's ever going to marry me. All right. So, let's see. Azriel, I would totally make the wedding cake for Casey and GE. Oh, thank you, Azriel. Peachy, I haven't painted in months. Maybe I'll paint something tomorrow. That would be cool, Peachy. So yes, please, any comments, questions, anything like that? You got any super chats? Super chats take precedence. Like Christmas here. Is it a shotgun wedding? Nope. It doesn't have to be a shotgun wedding. God damn. What's all this wedding talk? Yeah. Fuck. He meant leave him? Yeah, she won't leave. Bullwinkle, 100 miles to 22,000 miles for satellites. I think Himawari 8 is one of the furthest and much further than 222,000. Well, hold on now, honey. You told me that you weren't ever going to leave me. Nephilim, I'll drive back to Alabama for the wedding. Oh, shit. GE has gone slightly red. Tag me in the comments if you want me to read it. Like Mac the Mad there. Hey, Godless Engineer, you hear Reds is going to dedicate the next launch to you? I did hear that. And I dedicated tonight's video to him. So if you guys want to search up Red's Rhetoric, go over there, check him out, subscribe. He's got a great channel. I'd really appreciate it. Go to a video, let him know that I sent you. Cutthroat Juggalo, user this towards the wedding rings. KC, I didn't put them up to this, honey. I'm innocent. Oh, yeah, sure. Christopher, oh, Godless Engineer, small correction. You said that water has the highest cohesion. You said, hi, sir, you are wrong. The award goes to Mercury. I love Mercury. Well, I meant, I meant that, sorry, I probably did misspeak. I didn't mean that it was the absolute highest, but like as far as, liquids of that sort, it has the highest cohesion or surface tension. Because like in the article that I read, it was like water and isopropyl alcohol and other water-based like things. So yeah. I'm just saying that it has a very strong bit of surface tension there. Godless Engineer, we all got PMs from KC. What the fuck? What, honey? Godless Engineer, she made me say that. Holy shit, they're turning on you, hun. Christopher Moore. Hold on. I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man to walk 1,000 miles in that world. Godless Engineer, we all, hold on. Corey Morrison, sorry, Kent, if your wife leaves you, I'll marry you. Godless Engineer, roll tide! Super user L. James. Godless Engineer, can we have torches at the wedding? Fuck yes, we can. Godless Engineer, she threatened to withhold the shield checks. Damn it, honey, don't withhold the shield checks. The Illuminati's gonna fuck us over for that. Godless Engineer, tell everybody that the Perseid meteor shower is this weekend. Peak on Sunday night, almost peak on Saturday night. Dark moon. Cool. Corey Morrison, goddamn autocorrect. Yeah, Freebird. Damn it, Peachy's getting torches tomorrow. Keon Ari says, you forgot to say earbud warning. Earbud warning, people.
Do they all have our like catering figured out and everything?
I guess so. They've already got it all fucking figured. Godless Engineer, the world is going to end today. No, it ain't, Godless Island. I think you're lying. Jar Jar Baloo, why can't KC buy rings and propose? It's 2018, you fucking misogynist!
Because he has a plan.
I do have a plan. It's a good plan. Godless Engineer, smart people need to have more babies. Get to it, you and KC. Well, I'm waiting for somebody to tag me. How can an engineer think the Earth is flat? I don't think the Earth is flat. Holy fuck. People need to actually fucking read the room when you get in here. The catering is all the forbidden fruit. Oh, fucking shit. The catering is all the forbidden food of every religion, and it's called the heathen buffet. It's just bacon and shrimp. Do you sell prints of your pics, Godless Engineer? Not currently. We need more singing. Fuck. I don't know what to sing. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. M-Benz is a fucking tart. Godless Engineer, are you getting married on YouTube? No. Karis says, KC and I are running off together. We just haven't announced it yet. Sorry, mate. Damn! You beat me to it, Karis. Yup, it's that chick. Don't you ever get tired of listening to flat earth arguments? I mean, tonight I got really triggered just because he had such an internally inconsistent argument for the whole water droplets thing. But I mean, for the most part, like, I try to look on and I try to find some nugget in which I can research and have good scientific information about it and then relay that to you. I get that, like, you have to wade through a lot of fuck shits and dick jokes, but, you know, at the heart of it, you really do get some good information, I think. Corey Morinson, honestly, wish me luck starting clinicals next week, and anti-vaxxers have driven me up a goddamn wall. Do a vid on anti-vaxxers? Fuck yeah, Corey, I will. I've actually been saving up some anti-vaxxer, like, Facebook posts and stuff, so I'll definitely find a few more and I'll make one. All right, one more question, and then, let's see. Sing the 500 miles again, but get the lyrics right. To fall down at your door. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man to walk 1,000 miles, to fall down at your door. Huh?
Alright until that last note.
Oh, the last note, not the last line. Godless Engineer, do you even shill, bro? I actually don't try to shill at all. It just kind of fucking happens. But anyways, heathens, that's it for tonight. I hope that you guys had a great time. I know that I did. I appreciate, answering all your questions and stuff. I love hanging out with you guys every Friday night. Be sure to join us next Friday night when we do the exact same shit again. More flat earth shit next week. I'll try to have different information, I promise. Anyways, heathens, y'all have a nice night. I'm gonna have a nice night, and y'all have a great weekend. Bye, guys.